Welcome, friends. Hey, how's it going? What is up, everybody? Welcome to Tuesday Museday. I'm Kalani. So nice to see so many familiar names. I would say faces, but obviously I cannot see you, but I feel the love coming through the the chat icons. Hey, Bill, nice and early as always. Thanks. Bill Bradley's here. Roseanne is here as always. Thank you, Roseanne, for being here and helping people out. And I see the love heart bubbling. Really appreciate it. Rebecca's here. Neil, welcome. And Daisy's here. Welcome back. It's been a minute, I think, right? And it's always good to see you. And Sienna, yes, did I say Sienna? Champy and Morris. Jennifer here. Hello from New South Wales? Australia? Welcome. Nice to have you here. We need all the support we can get. That handpan lady, welcome back. Nice to see you. And you know, that handpan lady has some videos. If you want to put a link or anything to your YouTube, go ahead. And that goes for everybody. If you guys have something, you know, relevant to share. Don't try to sell any t-shirts like all those people on Facebook. Cornelius, welcome. Cornelius plays bass, you guys, by the way, and he has his own YouTube stuff. Or is it on Instagram, I think, right? Cornelius, where are you? Where are you doing your music and sharing that? And also Roseanne has a channel. And Christina H is here, welcome. And then also Richard, our buddy Richard Bruner. Welcome, Richard. Richard records his own music, has several collections. Do I say CDs or albums? I mean, it seems antiquated, but I'll just say Richard has several CDs of music. I don't know how they're packaged. I think it's on, what are you on? SoundCloud and Bandcamp? Are you on Bandcamp? I'm not on Bandcamp, but Bandcamp is good, I hear. Did I miss anybody? I want to say hello to, wow, you guys have been chatting away. This is like, oh, Mark Palmer, my buddy Mark. And Mark has Jammables, right? The app. And Mark's in Thailand. He's a drummer, and we're, you know, Facebook friends, and we check in. But I know Mark's in Thailand, always sharing delicious-looking food. Thanks a lot, Mark. Stuff we can't have, but I appreciate it, because I'm kind of a foodie. Yeah, you're up early. I'm going to be up late. I'd rather be where you are. At least you're not going to be staying up. No, I'm not going to stay up because things change overnight. Urban Dervish, welcome. Liverpool, all right. Liverpool, UK, awesome. That's awesome. Thanks for being here. Wow, well, you're up late then. Speaking of being up late, was it like 1 a.m. over there? Are you guys 7 or 8 hours ahead of us? I don't know. Ritnik Mex, hello. And if you put your name, I'll try to call you by your name, but I'm not going to remember probably. McMac Shalfilia More Dolik. Okay. I'll see what I can do. I'll talk to the management. And anybody else? Let me see. I think yes. I think we're at the end of the chat. I got caught up. Wow, you guys. So today's theme, after last week, because I kind of went crazy, right? With the, oh my God. I was excited about last week's music though. I didn't even know what I was gonna do, you guys. All I did was get out a bunch of stuff, you know, set everything up, and I just put a few things in the looper. Those of you who were there, if you weren't there, you might want to go back and check it out. It was, I surprised myself because it was our spooky dookie, our Halloween special. And I just focused on weird sounds and trying to just create something weird. And I think I succeeded. I think I exceeded my expectations. It was weird and spooky, but cool at the same time. Well, Christina, you're gonna have to go back and check it out. There's two kind of long jams, yeah, it was pretty fun. I'm not gonna even try to explain it, but I had a lot of weird sounds, and I had the looper going with weird stuff, and it was interesting. So check that out if you want. But the point of the beginning of my sentence and thought, and you have to excuse me because sometimes I don't make a straight line between what I think and what I say. And I'm just going to comment on Urban Dervish says it's 1:22. Yeah, so you're like 8 hours, I guess, ahead. Well, thanks for staying up. And if I had a pint, I would toast you or cheers you. What do you say? I don't know. But welcome. Glad you're here. And okay, is a hand drum play with two servers? Okay, we'll get to questions in a minute. So if you have technical questions, hang on. We'll get to them in a second. Or Roseanne will answer them, or somebody else will answer. And if you guys are looking for mridangam and gatam and tabla, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but that's not going to happen. I did own some tabla once for a while. I kept them on a shelf. I took a couple lessons, and then they just sat on a shelf until I sold them to somebody who is now hopefully happily using them, and that's good. I was going to say, today's episode is back to basics. I just wanted to, even though I know that last thing didn't sound super basic, I just wanted to go back to simplicity, especially after last week, and that was the goal. I said I'm going to set up like three congas and some bongos, and then I had a little clave block and a rattle towards the end of that jam. But I think, I don't know about you guys, but from where I am today, it's a special day. Something's going on. I'm not sure. But there is a need for calm and simplicity. And so just, I just want to go back to basics, all right? So that's kind of what I was feeling today. I need something simple and basic and concrete, even though, I was jamming, I was playing a lot of stuff, but to me, I wasn't doing too many complicated things. I wasn't getting too involved. It's kind of just trying to groove. But I do want to talk about today's theme, which I'm calling rhythm theory, and I'll explain that in a second. But just kind of getting back to the basics of what we do as drummers and percussionists and musicians. Even though, I played some flute on top of it and was kind of doing some crazy stuff. Hey, thanks, Richard. That's very nice. Thanks for the super chat. That's awesome. I appreciate that. That's awesome. Know your bongos. You guys got to see my Not a Bongo video, which I did as a public service announcement on behalf of all percussionists and I'll say drummers and musicians, because, as you guys may or may not know, hopefully you do know, because that means you're in the know, is that, the joke is everybody calls every drum a bongo, right? And after a while, I feel like we have to take the bongos back, set the record straight, and speak up and stand up for the bongos, because their name is getting battered around, But it was kind of funny. But I did an Instagram post, did that show up on the channel too? I don't know where everything goes these days. Maybe Facebook, because it's Instagram and then it goes to Facebook. But anyway, if you want to look it up, you can check my IG, one of my IG's account. Also, I just discovered today that apparently I have 2 World Drum Club Instagram accounts. I don't even know how that happened. I'm going to try to merge them or something. I just want to have one. But apparently my older one, I have an older one and a newer one. The older one has like 500 subscribers or followers, and the new one only has 55. So I have to go with the old one. All right, you guys. But yes, and these are the bongos right here. In case you didn't know, these are them. 2 drums connected in the middle, high and low. It's just funny. I've even had people, I overheard somebody, I've told this story before, but I overheard this guy speaking to his wife. I was at a friend's gig, and his band was warming up, doing sound check, and they didn't even have bongos on the stage. It was a steel drum band, like calypso, soca band. And the guy turns to his wife, and he goes, "Hey, let's get going before they start playing their bongo music." They're bongo music. It's so funny. It's funny, but it's not. It's kind of sad in a way, but it's okay. All right, let's get to a question, because Daisy, I see you have one, and it says, question. Do you damage your rings playing? I busted my antique engagement ring. Oh, twice now. You know, I don't, because this ring is, and it's hard to see, but this ring I have is it's just tiny, and is that in focus, you guys? Hold on. Let me see. The upper camera it's getting out of focus. I gotta adjust it. But anyway, this ring, no, because I have kind of fat fingers, and there's a lot of kind of like pillowy meat around that ring, you know. So it doesn't really it doesn't even touch the drum a lot of the time. It touches a little bit when I do it open tone, but obviously not when I do slaps, and it's not really a problem. I even play djembes with it. It's not really a problem. But I'm sorry you broke your ring a couple times. I would recommend, and I do recommend, taking off rings, jewelry, bracelets. I've had drums break with people that had like bangly bracelets on. It just cut right through the edge of a head. So it is a good idea to take rings off. But this ring is super basic and light, and it's just very thin. It just, you know, it doesn't really interfere. I did, when I first got married, I swapped my ring out, because I had a different ring. It was a little bulkier, it was thicker, and it was getting in the way. And I swapped it out for one of those sports rings. It's like a neoprene or it's like a rubber, some kind of rubber. And that was okay. But I honestly, it was also a little thicker than this. This is just a white gold ring, and it's pretty thin. So it's not really a problem. Anyway. We all got to figure that out for ourselves, I guess. Maybe it's a good argument for staying single, I guess. No, I'm kidding. All right, you guys. Any other questions? And then I do want to talk about the theme today, because I have a little bit. I have some info I want to share with you about an upcoming course. Viva los bongoceros. Yes, exactly. Some people do, bandage their fingers. That's absolutely true. Even congueros, but especially the bongoceros, because it's hard. Bongos are cranked up usually. These are not super high pitched right now, but if you crank up any drum, it can get very hard, like a tabletop, you know. So, and then if you're playing a lot, you got to protect yourself. And tape is fine. Really famous conguero, Pancho Sanchez, like he's always taping his hands way up. That guy gigs all the time. He's playing all the time. So, you know, it's a matter of just health, you know, health and wellness. We're getting divorced. Yes. Yeah, there you go, Christina. Just like, I broke my ring. I need a new one. And make sure it's big on the top. The bottom's not a problem, but make sure it has weight on the top part, if you know what I mean. All right. Yeah, Daisy said did you break your ring on a djembe? Wow. The theme today is based on this, I just did a masterclass course series that I did find again. Not that you guys need to know this, but I recorded all these videos, recorded a series of 5.5. I did 5 main videos with a little half video, which is like a part B to one of the videos. And I decided to do something for the patrons, you know, over our Patreon, when the course is here, and I wanted to cover what I'm calling rhythm theory. And it's kind of just an overview of what I consider to be fundamental rhythmic techniques, concepts, ideas, information that I feel like everybody needs, at least if you're just, you know, going to be, let me call it a hardcore recreational drummer or an amateur or semi-professional or whatever, you know, not necessarily professional, but just somebody who's into music, who's learning. Maybe you're going to take classes, you know, and I feel like if you're going to take a drum class, then there's some terms you probably want to know before you go take the class. Otherwise, you might be confused because teachers are going to use terms: beat, rhythm, meter, timing, quarter notes, eighth notes, syncopation, you know, 4/4, 3/4, 6/8, 12/8, clave, bomba, tresillo. Wait, there's a lot of words that can come up and it can be in casual or it can be in casual teaching, and not everybody's going to stop and explain everything, nor should they. So I did this series because I wanted to give patrons who are at the courses tier and higher just, what I consider to be the set of info, so you can go out, you can take lessons, you can talk to drummers, you can converse, you can also access music and musical ideas and musical figures, and you can practice them and use them and just get better, first of all, get more and be more skilled, but be more fluent in rhythm and music. So that was the idea. I'm not going to go into a lot of details. I will tell you a quick story, though, which was I shot all these videos in the last couple days, and they're like 20 minutes each, so I have like 5 videos, 100, so over an hour and a half. And then I go to upload them, and my computer doesn't see the hard drive at all. Like, it doesn't mount, it doesn't show up. And I go plug it into my other computer, it doesn't show up. And I go to the utility thing, and I open it up, and it says, this disk cannot mount. I'm like, oh my God. And it says, this disk is full, and it can't be mounted. And so I actually made a video on my Patreon telling everybody that I can't access it. But then I came in here to set up for the live stream, and guess what? It still wouldn't mount. No, I'm kidding. It did mount, and I got the files, and I copied them right away. So that course will be up on Patreon soon. It's going to take a minute to upload all the videos, and I have to prepare them and make the posts and things. But that's a course that is coming up. I'm excited about it. So I cover, like, what is a measure, what is a bar, what are the meters, time signatures. And I write it out. It's not how to read music, but I show you, and I talk about beats, syncopation. We do metric modulation, rhythmic modulation, which is one thing I kind of did in this. And I'll give you an example of that in a second, because I'm excited about rhythmic modulation, you guys. It's really fun. I did a whole thing on clave. Yeah, so it's just a good primer, for anybody. Or a primer, either one. All right? They probably say primer in the UK, right? I'm guessing. All right. So real quick, but before we go on and talk about rhythmic modulation, we've got to do this. It's important. Guess the sound! Okay, you guys, I have a softball for you today because, I don't know, I'm feeling generous. And I also want to foreshadow the upcoming season. All right? So, this is it. Guess the sound, all right? Just put the name down in the chat. First person wins points, all right? Ready? You guys ready? It's going to be easy, I think. And Daisy's already guessing. Good guess. Here's one with reverb. Cornelius. Cornelius is the winner. Straight up, man. I got the good quality. Hang on, let me get back here. The good quality sleigh bells. I would accept jingle bells, Christina. That's okay. Yeah. I think we do call these sleigh bells when we talk about the instrument, but, jingle bells certainly would. Richard, what was it? Who put silence? That was funny. All right, Mark. Of course Mark did. Mark and I are pun buddies and joke buddies. Yeah, so bells, jingle bells or sleigh bells would be the correct, but I think Cornelius, if I'm not mistaken, was first in. So good job. And yeah, we'll be using these later, next month. But I thought I'd just give you, I told you it was pretty easy. But I like the. All right, so we can incorporate these, though, in the Gimme 5 today. So these are literally on the table. They're right here on the sideways music stand. All right, so those are over there. Real quick, you guys, because we're going to run out of time. Time goes by so fast. All right, so jingle bells, sleigh bells, yes. Nightmare Before Christmas. Sleigh bells. Is that like a Freddy, was it Freddy Krueger thing? All right. Rhythmic modulation, really quick. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it, but here's what it is. Let me see if I can get that shaker, the rattle back. Not that one. Not that. Not that. It's like the last one I tried. Okay. All right, so you have a little beat, and then this will be just a quick explanation. Rhythmic modulation. Dot, dee, dot, dee, dot, dee, right? We have a groove. And then I'm going to subdivide the beat differently. Instead of dividing in 2, maybe I'll do a 3. And then I'm going to shift that quarter note. So instead of hearing these like triplets, I'm going to shift it into a duple. Right? But our original tempo, so I think I just recorded. Yeah, it's okay. So let's do that again. I recorded my hand on it. That's annoying. Hold on. I'm going to re-record that. In fact, yeah, let me just do this. Hang on, guys. I'm going to re-record it. All right. See? That works. So we take, basically, rhythmic modulation is taking a meter, like 4, 4, 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1, and 2, and then we're going to subdivide it differently. Dot, dot, dee, dot, dot, dee, dot. Now we have triplets, but then we're going to turn those triplets into the new eighth note. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and 1. And we modulate the tempo, right? Hope that makes sense. Does that make sense? And you can move different directions in that. This is just one example, but you could go from a triplet. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, da, 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 dee, ding, da, dee, 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 da, da, dee, da, da, dee, da, da, dee, 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 dum, dee, 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 dum, dee, 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 dum, dee, 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 I think it's a really useful tool, and it's fun, at least for me. All right, does that? Yeah, Richard's like, that's a pretty advanced topic. I agree. But that's lesson 5. Before we get there, I talk about a lot of stuff. But that is lesson 5, rhythmic modulation. But I got to give you guys somewhere to go, right? Somewhere to strive to be. And I always feel like that's the best way the best way to learn is through inspiration, right? Not perspiration. Not fear, like I had in college, where my teacher's like standing right over my shoulder looking at my music and I'm trying to read. And, horrible. Very stressful. But through inspiration, through wanting to have, like a certain sound or wanting to have, and when I say have, I mean create, because then you can have it, right? We can't have the music that we can't create, at least for ourselves. And so to have a sound, you have to be able to create the sound. or the rhythm or whatever it is. So that's what I mean when we can like fall in love with something, fall in love with a sound or music or whatever it is, or a genre or rhythm or whatever. Then we're going to be motivated, right, to get there, and we just figure out a way. And everybody's path is different, and that's okay, But we're here to help each other, inspire each other, right? And that's the basic feeling that we have in the U.S. right now is help and inspiration. Mutual support is what I'm saying. All right. Okay, you guys, let's get into our Gimme 5 because we're going to run out of time. So while you guys are doing that, thinking about your Gimme 5, I'm just going to forward. Let me go to music mindfulness because I do want to talk about that for a second. And for some reason, Ram Dass popped up in my YouTube feed today. And it was great. He was talking about, sitting by a stream and just watching your thoughts. Like, you guys know the metaphor. It's like your thoughts are in the stream and it's just they're like leaves and twigs and little things floating by. And he said, we get sidetracked because we start to watch one thing and we turn our head and there we are. And now we've kind of lost our perspective because we're following one thought instead of kind of keeping our overall view, right? Our view or our thinking, I guess, becomes kind of myopic and super focused, and sometimes we can forget like where we are, who we are, what we are, which is a lot bigger and broader than just like one leaf in the stream. Even though sometimes it's nice to focus on one little tiny thing, because I think we can find a lot of beauty also when we look down at the earth and we really look carefully, and there's like so many things we can notice. But that's kind of a different thing than what he was talking about. So I think that with that in mind today, let's just remember that like we are so much more than our thoughts. We're so much more than our circumstances. We're so much more than our titles or our achievements, all that stuff, that sort of achievement-based things. That's all fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But we're all so much more all the time, and just by the fact that we're here. And we get to be life forms for a while, and then we're going to go back to the earth and be something else. So while we're here being life forms and being sentient and aware, I just always try to keep a deep sense of appreciation for that opportunity. And even though things might not go our way, and yeah, in an election or within a job or in a relationship, I just have to always come back to like, you know what? I'm okay. Things are okay. And we get to create the feeling that we want to have in our lives for ourselves if we're proactive enough and we don't expect other people to do it for us. But that's just a matter of perspective and maybe maturity. So that's my music mindfulness rant. Maybe to relate that to music, sometimes we judge ourselves by the music we play. But again, that's just, whatever sound comes out is sort of like, once it's out, it's beyond my control. As long as you're doing the best you can, there's no need to apologize or feel bad. It's great to have something left to aspire to. So just take the little things that you don't like as information to help you find a better way forward. That's what those things are for. It's just like when we say mistakes, mistakes are our teachers. If we're willing to learn, and be humble and be a good student, every instrument will show you how to play it if you listen and pay attention and take the feedback, all right? And not think that you know everything, right? So to me, that's kind of the lesson. All right, let's go to Gimme 5. And is that here? Yes, it is. All right, do we have any? Let me see. Do we have a Gimme 5 yet? The dog is trying to communicate his desires, but he doesn't get to vote. So yeah. So I'm gonna get ready by erasing what I have in here in the looper, and I will reserve the right to, okay, Roseanne, you're picking Daisy? Okay. So what is it? Let me know. And I may add this echo. Oh, and I also did that delay. Remember, you guys, in the first part? I added this delay. Which, just in case you're wondering, the delay is for a half a second, 500 milliseconds. And the tempo that I was playing at was 90 beats a minute. And so the delay, if I'm not mistaken, it ends up being a dotted quarter note. All right, so that kind of works out when the, let me make sure the tempo is the same, yeah. Oh, I just changed it, hold on. I was trying to turn a window off and I changed the tempo. All right, so the tempo is 90, and then the delay isn't that cool? Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. Yeah, cool. All right, that's enough of that. Yes, what Richard said, math. It is the maths. You can use maths in music. All right, I got to start playing. And give me 5. You guys stop posting right now for a second. Daisy, Kashishi, Conga. 3 types of bells. Ooh. 3 types of bells. That's nice. Let me see. Okay, hang on. Let me go to the bell box. Just gonna grab some stuff. All right. I think I'll save the sleigh bells for later. And let's go to oh my goodness. Let's see if we can get going. See, yeah, I like that, Daisy, because you're leaving some up to me, but you're giving me what we call play rules. You're just saying just 3 types of bells. Because then, you know, you leave a little left in there that leaves it up to the performer, which I like. It's kind of like theater improv. Are we doing? Is this theater improv right now? Music theater improv. All right, let's go. We don't have that much time, so I'm gonna start. I gotta play. I'm gonna keep the tempo the same in case I want to use the echo thing, which I think I might. In fact, let me grab a different mallet because I might need a different sound. Okay, I got the Elmo mallet. Let's see what we can do. Hey, thanks for tuning in today, you guys. Yeah, got a little crazy there for a second. I had to bring it back in. We don't need any crazy today. But thank you for the suggestions, Daisy. That was kind of fun. I hope that was something fun for you. Yeah, and we like the congas. We gotta love the congas. Okay, you guys, well, have a great evening, morning, afternoon, whenever it is and wherever you are. I appreciate you guys tuning in, I really do. And maybe we'll see some of you on Patreon. You guys, before you go, if you want to leave links to anything that you have that you want to share that's musical, music related, please do. I'll let this go another minute. And you're welcome, Daisy. Appreciate it. And Roseanne, thank you for hosting. Thanks for everybody for showing up from all over. I'm so excited. This is really cool. And yeah, thanks, Mark, for tuning in all the way from Thailand and everyone else from Mexico and the UK and Australia. I hope you guys are good and you're inspired and go out and do some good stuff and, inspire some other people. We need it. We need the inspiration. All right, we'll see you guys next time.
World Drum Club.